You know what it is, man? Waking up in the mornings is not a challenge. It's just making sure that we get y'all the proper information with the proper people. It's Young Jock in the Streetz Morning Takeover. Miss Shanika and Shout. Miss Shanika, we have a very special guest in the building this morning. He's no stranger to our show. Matter of fact, he's one of those guys we call in when we need answers to the big questions.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the building this morning, we have the one and only, the Tax King. That's right. What up, sir?
Good morning, Streetz Takeover.
Yeah.
Jock and Miss Shanika, good to be with y'all again.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, so I have been at ATC income tax now this is the third year, right, that
Wow.
you and I have been in a collaborative effort. I definitely see more people coming out bright and early to get their taxes assessed, because last year they kind of got a raw hand. Like, I really felt like there were a lot more deductions that they could have gotten the year before that. It was a really good year for people that had the child tax credit. But okay, so for this year, how is it looking for our people that pay our taxes?
Yeah, so you made an important question, and that is left a lot of people questioning what happened in 2023. Because
right.
The year before that, they had such large refunds.
Yes.
And that all really has to do with just changes in the tax code. You know how the government is. They're always changing things on us. So due to the pandemic, COVID, we saw some breaks, some stimulus related tax credits that came in for working families.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's what happened. The child tax credit was completely revamped. Not only the child tax credit, but the earned income credit, and also daycare credits for the very first time became refundable. Before it was just a deduction. The refundable portion for the child tax credit also doubled. It went to $3,600 per child if they were under the age of 6, and $3,000 per child if they were under the age of 16 and under. So now that the pandemic is behind us, all those credits went away. So in 2022, when they returned to file their taxes, refunds were lower, and it was out of our control or any other tax company online. It didn't matter where you went. The credits were what they were, and those went away, and we saw lower refunds in 2022. There's some hope for 2024.
Okay.
So
we got our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
What is the new hope?
Well, right now as we speak, there's a proposal to expand and enhance the child tax credit.
Okay.
It isn't going to be as good as it was in 2022, but it's going to put a couple of $100 more in working parents' pockets per child.
Okay.
So they are debating, and I think it's going to pass. We're very close. They have to decide on it by the 29th. We're 3-4 days away.
Okay.
And so that could mean an expansion of from $1,600 to $1,800 per qualified child for the child tax credit.
Okay.
Now, the earned income credit, those credits, as they typically do, have been adjusted for inflation. So they are higher. For example, just to give you a scenario, if you have single mother or joint, let's just use head of household, mom with 3 children. If she made $21,000, $22,000, then, and you have 3 children under the age of 19, then you can get a maximum of $7,438 for earned income credit, plus $1,800 if this goes into law, $1,800 per child. If you have 3 children, that's $5,400. You're looking at over $12,400 as a refund. That's significant.
That'll change.
Now,
things
exactly. Now, if one of the children was in college, there's with the American Opportunity Credit, that's another $1,000 of refundable credit.
Oh, wow.
That during the Obama era, it started the American Opportunity Credit that we can do. So there's definitely, it's better, so that's.
You said something, Tax King, that put a light bulb on my head. Because there's
sir.
a lot of fathers, right?
Right.
Who pay child support.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So if I'm paying child support and they giving money back to the mother for the child care expenses,
How does that work?
I just
Doesn't
be like,
seem fair,
that's you. I don't get none of that right there.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, if you are caring for your child and paying child support, there are some qualifications, right? The child, for earned income credit, the child must live with you. So even if you're paying child support, they have to live with that parent for at least greater than 6 months out of the year. So if they're going back and forth, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Now, that doesn't mean you can't qualify to claim them as a dependent, because if they're your children, then you can still.
But if the mama claiming them,
then the mother claims them.
So, but
they live with her.
Okay,
So,
I'm not gonna get into it too much.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So up until what age can
And unfortunately,
you
there's no tax deduction for paying child support either. So
that's crazy.
it's a raw deal, right?
That's really
it's
crazy.
crazy.
So up until what age can you claim your children on your taxes?
So that's another one. Most people think, oh, well, they have to be a minor under the age of 18. Well, that's not true. They can be between the age of 19 to 23, and if they're if they went to school, qualified paid institution, if they went to school for half the year, then they're fine. You can still claim them if they didn't work, you took care of them, then you can still get earned income credit, and that's refundable between the age of 19 to 23 and a student at a qualified learning institution, right? If they're 25, even if they're 25 and older, or 20, if they're an adult, if they're disabled, and there's laws around that, if they're permanently autistic or they collect SSI, they're on SSA, then you can still claim them and get those refundable credits because the IRS treats those as children because they're disabled. So that's the rules around that. Even as an adult, a parent, someone, a relative that lives with you that's an adult, you get a non-refundable credit of $500 if they are with you and they're not working and you're helping, provide support for them. There's some tests that we've got to go through. So,
oh wow,
you don't have to be a child to be claimed as a dependent.
I know that's right.
Now you can't claim your husband or your wife. Obviously, that's
obviously that would be
that's a joint return. But yeah.
So let me ask you another question because I've had to have this conversation. What about let's say Zelle, CashApp, and all these things? Because I know that was introduced a few years back, and it was a big thing. And I do a lot of Zelle and a lot of CashApping, and to the point now where I get the emails from CashApp and things of that nature. So how does that work?
So that's another thing that there's some more good news on that front too. Okay. Because I came on here last year and I think we discussed the IRS was going to introduce that if you made over $600,
right,
that you were going to be issued a 1099-K. That's going to affect 44 million Americans because everybody's on it, right? Like Venmo, Cash App, Zelle. And sometimes, actually a lot of times, those aren't really taxable income. It could be like you guys went out to dinner, you hung out or whatever, and you're reimbursing each other. Yeah. You shouldn't be taxed on that.
Right.
So there's some complications around that, and they've decided yet again, listen, it was supposed to go into effect for 2023.
Right.
They're going to push that back again.
Okay.
So you made over $600, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, because some of my Cash Apps and Zelles be crazy, and I'd be like, yo.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, though. Even though that went away, that doesn't mean you don't want to claim it. It depends. You're supposed to claim all your income.
Right.
And all your expenses if you're in business, right? So that doesn't change anything. You just won't get a 1099-K. What we tell our customers is that you could be missing out by not claiming that 1099-K. So if you have children especially, again, the distinction, I've already said you have to claim all your income and expenses, right? But especially if you have children and you're getting income, there's earned income credit. You don't get that for unemployment, Social Security, and all those. But if you have earned income, and 1099-K is one of those, W-2, 1099, those are all earned income. You should claim it because there are refundable credits that you will receive. And we can wipe out the taxes completely if you have children and you've earned less than, if you're in the 20,000 range. Okay. So you should claim it. You're working Uber, gig economy, all these things. There's so much deductions that are going to be taken out by these third party, like Uber and Lyft, for example. They have numerous fees. And we're trying to report as much earned income as possible. So if you have a 1099-K, we urge you to go to a tax professional. Here at ATC Income Tax, we specialize in rideshare and different gig economy forms, and we can help you with that. And we can minimize your taxes or maximize your refund.
Okay. And so I want to know from you, what advice would you give to filers this new tax season?
Well, there's a lot of talk there about possible refund delays, right? But that's a catch-22 because accountants and tax professionals also say the benefit of filing early is that you avoid identity theft, right? Mm-hmm. Somebody potentially taking your credits away from you or filing, illegally your tax return. So understand that whatever changes that are going to be coming into play in the next few days, and I believe they will be passed by the 29th, that just like they did in 2021, I think it was 2021 tax year, when they forgave unemployment, if you had unemployment over 10,000, a certain amount was forgivable, like you didn't have to pay taxes on it. Well, that was something that happened automatically. They went back in and auto-corrected and sent you the money if you pay taxes.
Right.
We believe that's what's going to happen this year.
Okay.
So if you file early and you have additional money coming for child tax credit, because it went from $1,600 to $1,800 of refundable credits, you should be able to get those. It should be automatically amended by the IRS. So if you can wait another week, yeah, it can't hurt, right? So you want to make sure you have all your tax documents, and then file when you're ready. That's the advice I'd give. But if you must file and you have your documents, I would go ahead and file.
So that's why it makes a business like yours so important, because people are trying to recover expenses from the holidays.
Absolutely.
And at ATC, tell them, for those just finding out about ATC, what it is exactly that you do.
Well, at ATC Income Tax, when we're talking about taxes, we can't talk about taxes without talking about refunds, because that's what we do best. Maximum refund fast. That's what we do. So I would say that the difference, what distinguishes ATC from the rest, is we built our own in-house product. We have an approval rate of over 98%. Okay. Almost everyone that comes in is walking out with money that same day, and that's up to $500, interest-free, no setup fee, no catch, and that's a benefit, right? You can't do that at TurboTax or anything else, and it isn't based on credit. Mm-hmm. It's just the overall history with ATC and your tax filing and things like that. And so it brings me joy when I see a customer come in and we have the ability, hey, Dave, I need to pay rent. I've got 3 kids. I don't have anything. It's hard out there, for working families, and it's a lot of people struggling. And to be able to bridge that gap, that financial hardship, that's been the key to our success. We've been around for 20 years here in Atlanta. And, there's not too many small businesses or big businesses that, we're seeing parents, and I'm seeing their children now file. Right. That's second generation.
Yeah. Right.
And so we're truly blessed to still be here and serving the community.
That is. Yeah. So let our listeners know how they can get in touch with you for rapid refund fast. As you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We got to let them know.
You can go to atcincometax.com. And you can also call us at 404-524-1040.
That is. We ain't going to talk y'all head off with it. We just going to give y'all what you need to know so you can make the best move. Say your next move. Make it your best move. Hot chewy. Face ass. That's what it is. We ain't going to talk your head off. We're going to, allow you to get out of here because we know you got a lot of taxes to prepare. Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. More numbers to crunch.
Let's get to this money.
It's going to be a good tax season.
ATC, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to the Tax King, man. We appreciate you, man. Y'all know what it is. Make sure y'all stick around for more. Young Jock in the Streetz Morning Takeover.